Hi everyone, it's a quite bold statement to say that ChatGPT is a thing of the past, but it is already quite widespread among AI enthusiasts. AutoGPT can replace entire teams. AutoGPT can be a personal assistant, set a goal, go to have tea, come back, and the task is done. How does it work and how well does it work? Let's figure it out. What is the difference between AutoGPT and ChatGPT? ChatGPT simply provides information and requires close collaboration with a human to complete a task, often requiring very specific prompts. AutoGPT operates autonomously without the need of human intervention. Unlike ChatGPT, it can be given a goal, break it down into subtasks, and work on them until the goal is achieved, while solving any problems that arise along the way. Moreover, AutoGPT has access to the internet and can read, write files, making it capable of providing up-to-date information. AutoGPT is already being called a personal AI assistant, while ChatGPT is considered old school. In essence, AutoGPT is an open-source Python application developed by Significant Gravities and hosted on GitHub as of March 30 based on GPT-4 or ChatGPT. Examples of using AutoGPT are being shared on social media. For instance, user Barcy ordered a pizza from Pizza Domino's using AutoGPT. Specifically, AutoGPT placed the order from selecting the pizza to fill out the form and clicking the other button, while Barcy just watched. Another tech enthusiast used AutoGPT for a sales department. AutoGPT identified 50 top companies, found HR directors of these companies, sent them emails, and scheduled meetings for those who responded. AutoGPT also created a website while installing all the necessary software on the computer that was not installed before. Reputable publications write that AutoGPT is not just a language model, but a revolutionary tool that can and probably will revolutionize how people do business and work. You can use AutoGPT through a browser or via command line. If you have any minimal knowledge, you can set up AutoGPT on your computer and use it via command line by following the instructions. I set it up myself in just an hour following the instruction and will provide a link in the description on how to do it. Here is how it works. You set a goal, ideally describing it in as much detail as ChatGPT, to ensure that the project is executed according to the user's expectations. AutoGPT will ask for permission after each step. However, if you trust it, you can set it up to not ask for permissions. Set the goal, go for a walk, come back, and get the completed result. Next, I will ask AutoGPT to solve 3 tasks and see how it performs. The first task is to select the most popular news related to data analytics for May 8 and create a 5-minute podcast script based on them. We remember that ChatGPT does not have up-to-date knowledge, as it has limited knowledge of the world and events after 2021. AutoGPT, on the other hand, is connected to the internet and can interact with it in real time. We input our goal or task, and AutoGPT thinks and gives us a list of subtasks that need to be complete, which it will then execute. Use Google search to find relevant news, analyze the popularity of these articles, determine the most popular ones, create a 5-minute podcast scripts based on this news. After this, we must confirm that we agree with the plan. AutoGPT executes the first task, and after that, the list of tasks is slightly modified, as it will be after each subtask is completed. The time it takes from setting the goal to completing the task can be quite long, because difficulties may arise in the process, which AutoGPT will solve along the way. It took a long time to perform various manipulations calculations, collect informations, analyze it, then collect it again and analyze it again. But in the end, I decided to guide AutoGPT a bit towards the right path and say, okay, that's enough collecting and analyzing, create the podcast script now. And based on the most popular news, it created a short podcast script. The script is indeed based on current news, but it will need some editing. On the other hand, I stopped AutoGPT early, so maybe if I hadn't stopped it, the script would have been better. The next task for AutoGPT is to order pizza on the Domino's Pizza website. We will provide all the necessary contact information for the order and specify the pizza we want to receive. I still want to test if it is really possible to order food with AutoGPT. And what do we see? In this case, AutoGPT is not ready to help us and immediately states that I'm sorry, but I cannot fulfill your request because I am a language model of artificial intelligence. It do not have the ability to order pizza or make purchases. Questions of how another user managed to order pizza remains open. Unfortunately, it's not clear which version of AutoGPT the Twitter user used to place this order. It may be some web application or additional settings may be required. The user did not specify this, and therefore we can only guess. The last task, which is more difficult in my opinion, is to analyze data. In theory, ChatGPT can also do this, but based on the definitions of ChatGPT and AutoGPT, there is a fundamental difference. One difference: ChatGPT cannot read files and does not have access to files on the computer, while AutoGPT can do this and has access. In addition, ChatGPT can solve an analytical tasks and write code for it, but then you need to go to your computer and implement the code there. During the process, additional problems may arise and you will need to turn to ChatGPT again. Try it yourself until it works. AutoGPT theoretically can do all this on its own, and we will only watch and drink tea, but in fact it was quite difficult. I tried to give it a file, indicated where the file is located on the computer, but it said the file was not found. I changed the location, but nothing worked. Then it found the file, but said it was too big and everything was reset. Also during the process, it wrote that Pandas was not installed on my computer, even though it was installed, but it could not install it, and several other minor problems that AutoGPT could not solve, and it looped back to the problem using the same method of solving that did not work. I could not relax and return to a completely solved task. As a result, I can say that it only worked when I wrote the data directly in the command line. Then AutoGPT made some conclusions and wrote a Python script for visualization, but this is certainly inconvenient, and I can do the same thing in ChatGPT. In fact, I had more tasks that I tried to solve using AutoGPT, spent about 2 days on it, but none of the solution fully satisfied me, except for tasks related to current information. Although it is possible that AutoGPT will work better with the GPT-4 version, but I cannot currently afford GPT-4 because of my card was declined. Also, web version of AutoGPT are now appearing, Agent GPT and Code Mode. I tested them as well. The advantage is that you don't need to install anything on your computer, but there are quite a few disadvantages. Web versions cut off tests, which is very inconvenient, and this is observed in all web versions. Also, the web versions cannot go through your computer and do everything you need. In this sense, it is a limited option, more like ChatGPT. After playing with the original version of AutoGPT and the web versions, it becomes clear that AI is still far from performing complex autonomous tasks without human assistance. The idea of AutoGPT is wonderful, but in my opinion, it is still raw. It gets stuck on task, encounters problems that it cannot overcome, has problems with understanding context, spends a lot of time doing unnecessary tasks, and etc. Nevertheless, we will closely monitor its development.